So, hi everyone, welcome back. This is the return journey of the walk down the other side of the river, going the opposite way to what I've ever been. So what I've done, I've cut this one in half. I think they're getting a bit long. I think it's a lot to expect you to sit there for an hour. I know I've had feedback from my close friends, and they said, it's a bit long, mate. So I think we ought to do something like that. Whether we cut them up into 2 or 3 or whatever. So this is part 2. The only thing is we're walking back and I think we've got the wind. So hopefully the dead cat's doing its stuff. So let's go for a walk. A little bridge just under that railway there. Look, going to them fields. I bet we're just about to have some more shocking weather. On the way down here, it was chucking it down and nearly froze the back of my neck off. And then it's calmed down a lot, but now we're getting some more rain. So this was one of those days where I was going to go further afield. It's not a day where you can go near the coast and fly because it's really windy there. A lot more windy than here. And I didn't bother bringing the drone out today because it was chucking it down when I left home. So. Although on a nice day, this would be a beautiful flight down here, I think. Some really quiet areas. But I'm just going to walk back now, get in my car, and go home and edit this. So I'm actually filming this Monday the 10th of February 2025. And I say, I hope I can hear you. I hope you can hear me, should I say. Between all the raindrops that are falling on my head. Today's Happy New Hat Day. I might just walk back under that track actually, rather than walking back down the thing. Oof. Today is bracing. It's on a par with Scarborough when it was raining that day. It's about the same sort of temperature as that. And that was serious. Oh, another train. We got a train in the last one, so I'll just show you another one. This one's got his toe down. Isn't that lovely? In 4K, 60 frames per second. Never been down here before, and this is the second train I've seen in 10 minutes. Even though technically to you it's a different day. I wonder why they load the back ones and then they sell them out in the middle. Unless they're picking up different things and they're going to drop them off on the way. There's a thought, isn't it? Not as I'm a transport manager for train companies, but that would make a sensible thing, wouldn't it, really? That one's got a squeaky wheel. Somebody needed some Lucozade, but didn't feel the urge to take the bottle out. It will film it, apparently. No, it won't. Cut that bit out. We haven't seen any fly tipping down here anyway, so that's not so bad. I don't want to go on about it, but it just go to me, to be honest. We've got some beautiful places in this country. And you go and somebody's left a settee there. You think, God, dirty sods. Some lovely, well-cultivated fields. We're still in the winter, but spring's not far away. Give it a couple of months, and they'll be doing really well, won't they? Obviously, I have no idea what they are. I did work on a farm when I was younger, and that was my chosen career path. But as I left school, it was just about the point where all the farmers' sons were my age. So all the jobs disappeared off the farms, the tractors got bigger, and the contractors started to do the work. I'll just put my hand in front of that microphone in case it's blowing on it. Otherwise it'll make a pretty crappy video, won't it? I've got my fingers warmed up anyway. Even these gloves. They're brilliant gloves, these. I don't know what I'd have done without them. I bought them at Christmas just before we went to Scarborough. And I genuinely don't know what I'd have done without them. Because one thing about blood pressure medication, it makes your fingers cold. Well, the one I'm on does. Hopefully I'm not gasping down the microphone. It's very difficult. I do keep trying to get rid of my breathing on it, but if I put it too far away, you'll not be able to hear what I'm saying. You just hear wind noise and me in the background going. I don't know if I've got any rain on the thing. This camera has become one of my favourite things in the world, to be honest. You just pick it up, grab hold of the bottom of it, press the button, and go make content. It's now cheaper on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description if you're interested. Not sponsored by Amazon, obviously. Not with 118 subscribers. I can't imagine they'd sponsor anybody anyway. I think they've got their own marketing team going on. But if you're thinking about it, and you've got enough money saved up, and you want to create decent content no matter what you're doing, it cures that problem of video and audio, whatever you're doing. Because that's the biggest problem. You buy even if you're doing it at home, you buy yourself a webcam, then you need audio as well, so then you need a microphone. So you end up, if you're just going to be a small time creator, or you don't want to go live or anything like that, although you can actually go live from these through your phone, but we'll get back onto that another day. It's this very, very simple solution. Save yourself thousands. Obviously I'm set up for live streaming, and the microphone I've got, if you buy it new, would be 400 quid. The audio box was about 6. Webcam 70 quid, computer 700. To be honest with this, through the DJI app, you can do all of it on your phone. So you wouldn't need a desktop computer. But you do actually need, if you're doing it in 4K 60, you do need a phone with a big memory. So that's the back of Kerry Foods on the riverside. Used to be, the Lucases were down there. They did breadcrumbs. I'm not sure how they all, whether it was the side of it. That's called Car Lane in Gainsborough. There were big silos there at one bit, and they took them all down too. Obviously things change, don't they? Excuse my sniffing, but it's bloody Baltic. So we're looking there. hopefully not getting too much wind. It's surprising. I was in Sutton-on-Sea last week, and I imagined it being fairly blowy on the microphone, and you couldn't hear any. But then I went the other week. I think it was really, really windy the other week though, when I went down to Susseworth, and that's all you could really hear. But I put it up anyway, but it hadn't done very well, that one. But I made a mistake on it when I put it up on the internet. I got it 12 hours early, so I made it private again and then relaunched it, but it's not done any good. Sometimes these videos, they take days and days before they get any interest. Yeah, we'll go back down the riverbank. It's a bit more interesting, to be honest. So this is Beckingham Flood Storage Reservoir. I think I've said it time and time again, but if you haven't been watching me before, these flood defences were designed by a Dutchman. The thing is with Dutch people, they know how to get rid of water. Because Holland, or Netherlands, I think it's Holland, isn't it? Netherlands is a part of, but it's actually below sea level, isn't it? So if they didn't know what they were doing, they'd all be flooded. Catch that corner. So it's a grey old miserable day today. Chucking it down with rain. It's got to be worth a thumbs up, that, isn't it, really? Just for the sheer pain of it all. One thing I've worked out, if I don't button these buttons down on this coat, the zip rattles on the metal bit. I listened to a video the other day to make sure it had gone right, and I could hear it was just sound like bloody Morse code. And I worked it out what it was, so I buttoned them down. It's got a big metal zip hanger on the bottom of it, and it taps away. It was getting on my nerves, so actually I knew it was there. I'll not tell you which one it was. There was a nice selection of moles. That's nice, that corner, isn't it? That'd be a good fly up there. I'm just going to say it again. I said it in the other video, but I'm going to say it earlier on in this video. Shout out to Stephen, Country Van Life, UK. He's had a massive heart attack on the Isle of Mull. And yesterday he was in Glasgow Hospital. They had to airlift him over. Last week. So he's still in Glasgow Hospital. And I think he was due to have the second of 2 operations. So if you do subscribe to him and you haven't watched him for a while, just pop on over there or in his Facebook group and wish him well, because obviously this guy lives on his own. Sadly he lost his wife, she got killed in the car crash. He struggled with his mental health and he's picked himself up by the bootlaces, bought a camper and travels around sharing his travels with people on the internet. He's a proper lad. If you feel like, if you've got a few shekels and you click on one of his videos, you can leave him a couple of quid as a super chat. You'll get 3/4 of it. buy yourself a paper or a cup of tea, or you know what I mean, somewhere in the hospital. Thankfully his dog Sky, the doctors from on Mull, I've got him. Is it a dog or is it a bitch? I can't remember. But it's Sky's in temporary care. Somebody's looking after his dog for him, because it's a worry, isn't it? He absolutely adores that dog as well, and that dog adores him. The Doberman that came over from Romania, I think. He rescued. Right, as a puppy really, and they've been right mates ever since. Got to show you that. That's a good shot, isn't it? That. I don't know if you can see Gainsborough in the distance. That was Whitton's Mill where we were the other week, walking down the riverside. I think that's the top of Marshall's Yard, is it? No, there's a crane somewhere in there where they're doing the top of the new cinema. I don't know if they've took it down today with the wind. I don't know if you can take them down that quick. Wind's getting up. If it's too windy on the microphone and when I start to edit this, I'll just bin this bit. I'm feeling the benefits of the new app this way, because it's stopping the rain going in my eyes. And when it's as cold as this and it's raining in your eyes, it's pretty grim, isn't it? Anyway, you can see the rain better in 4K. Hopefully it's not rained all over the camera lens, should I say. I struggle a bit down these grass paths because they're all uneven. And I'll get up tomorrow morning and I'll have a job to walk. I'll be crippled, like an old crippled man. Turn it sideways, have a look at that river. Have a look at me while I suffer for my art. Face track enabled. If you're interested in one of these apps, if you've got a massive head like me, I've got oversized hands, oversized feet, and oversized head. And that's all I'm telling you. I'll put a link in the description if you're interested. It was only 14 quid. Surprising how much you can spend on millinery. I'm sort of half and half really. If I bought a normal size one, it's too small for me. And this one was slightly too big. But you can adjust it and then stuff the tape up the back of the hat. Wow. Just wow. Let's take a swift break there and clean the lens off, because it was rain all over it. I must be mad. Well, if you're going to find somewhere cold, why not walk down the riverbank, eh? That's the way forward, I think. Let's turn it around. Let's see something else. She's making a noise. I've got it fired up. I don't think that place ever shuts to do nights, days. I don't know if it closes at Christmas. I tell you what, I sort of check the Michael about high-vis and stuff like that, but I don't know if you can see that person over there. But it's the first thing you see when you look across there. Tell you what, you could see them. Some nice logs there if you've got a log burner. Oof. This is grueling. Let's stand off a bit now. And it comes back. Oof. Wow, I'm pleased I didn't go to the coast today. It would have been awful. They must be willers, aren't they? Are they willers? Answers in the comments. I suppose it's the obvious place for them to grow. There's plenty of water. That bank's never going to be dry, is it? Got to be truthful. I'm actually getting to the point where I'd like to be sat in the car. In 10 minutes we should be back. I've enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more on the way down though, I'll be honest, because this wind in the face is not, with driving rain isn't the most enjoyable experience. At least I've been out the house and I'm pleased about that. Well, that's what you call a mole. Just imagine them with all the cartoon characters. Just imagine the mole with his shovel, can't you, digging away. Wow. I'm guessing about -2. Because it says 4. Stick that on, it must be -2. At the end of the coast, it would be -4. -4 and about 30-mile-an-hour wind, I think it said it was. So I thought that's not the place for us today. I don't know if you can see it over there. I never know what you can see because these viewfinders are fairly small. That's a Stonehouse pub, the Trent Port. If you're just coming into Gainsborough and you fancy a carvery, I've only ever had 2 there, and each one's just been as good. As usual with the people of Gainsborough, everything's crap. But it's always pretty full, so I don't think it is. The beef we had there the other week tasted like some ribeye or something like that. It was gorgeous. And they're not, it's not much money, 10, 12 quid. Same price as fish and chips. And absolutely beautiful. Bring it round and have a look at that other side bank if we can. Surprising what the camera can see that I can't, to be honest. Because I say it's only a small viewfinder. And when I get home and put it on full screen, it's surprising what I've missed. We're on the final furlong, just coming around the bend. Some work going on over there. I presume that's well, I'll show you the sign. This is classed as a like a basin, flood basin. Obviously that's why it's got the bank here. And the water then goes right over there. They call that the flood road. I don't know if you can see it. You could see it on the drone the other day. There's a bridge there with a load of bits under it. What would you call those? Arches. And it floods under there and goes onto the other side as well. So I think the water authorities, the environment, is responsible for this. Got lovely dark soil though. Again, I bet it never dries out because you've got the river just here and it must seep through. I bet they get a good yield off that. I may be wrong. Let's see, you can see it's lovely dark soil. Coming back up to that building site over there. Somebody said to me, a businessman who'll remain nameless, I said, how come they stopped building? He says, because more often than not when they're building, it's on borrowed money. And he said there'll be a certain amount of profit in the job, whether it be 10%, 20%, whatever it is. All of a sudden the money goes up because the interest rate goes up. And they'd be actually building it for no reason whatsoever. So he said they stop building, they wait while the money, interest rates go down for borrowing, borrow the money and crack on. And they ain't lost no. That's always presuming they can pay the loan they originally got. That's quite a simplistic way of looking at it, but I found that really interesting, to be honest. He's been a friend of mine for many a year, and I trust what he says. Well, it's basic maths when you think about it, isn't it? If you're going to make 20% and you're borrowing your money at 25%, you're going to lose 5% when you finish building. It's just pointless. I know at the minute, if you... I don't do it very often, but odd times I make a big purchase and you leave it on the credit card for the second month before you square it up, because it's a fairly big purchase. You've got 25% on it now. it's, you know, it makes a difference. 25%, and that's on at Nationwide. I think it's 23%. Money is very expensive to borrow. I'm quite lucky really, because that's the only thing I do with no mortgage. Credit cards are alright if you use them properly. The insurance you get on a credit card is second to none. I've had money back from airline seats that I booked from a company that went bankrupt. Well, I actually booked extra leg room. I got the money back from them. You know, it's worth doing. Sometimes if you do it on a debit card, you won't go to cat and else chance, have you? I know I booked some Ryanair flights during the pandemic. Made a mistake, booked them through PayPal. It took about 5 months to get the money back. If I'd been on a credit card, I'd have got it back the same month. In the end, I started emailing them every day. I wasn't desperate for the money, but I was just fed up with them. Because when you get on a Ryanair flight, they charge you for everything, which is fair dues. Cheap flight, all in all. I said to him, I want my money back, and if you carry on, I'm going to charge you interest. It's very interesting to get the reply. Basically, no, you're not getting the interest, pal. Sometimes when you listen to that O'Leary, you think, it must be nice to be that far up your own back end. I don't know how we've got on about them. Anyway, we have finally come to the end of our freezing cold wet walk. I've got to ask you, I'm not begging for subs. Massive thanks to all the people that have. Took a channel from 0 to 118 in 3 months, which I don't think that's bad for a fat old bald man going for a walk. Hopefully you're enjoying the content, but if you could just do me one little favour and hit that thumbs up button if you've enjoyed it, it would be a blessing. Because the YouTubes actually do take notice of interaction on the channel. And obviously if you've enjoyed it, why not stay round? I've got to keep my eye out down here, because there's a couple of dogs that have not cleaned up after themselves. But as we discussed in the earlier video, there's a bag full of it down there. And sure, it's biodegradable before they put it in the bag. I suppose on a riverbank. But if they just sort of kicked it to the side, it'd be better, wouldn't it? Oh. Go home and have a cup of tea. Anyway, shout out to Stephen. Country Van Life TV. You get yourself well, mate. I'll see some more content like this from you. I'm just going to show you what this sign says, and then I'm going to leave you to it.